Marissa, if you go to the left, please.
Yeah.
Kenny, you're here.
Thank you.
So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Matchday -1 press conference for the Northern Ireland England game at UEFA Women's Euro 2022. On my far left, I have Marissa Callaghan, Northern Ireland captain, and to my immediate left, Northern Ireland manager Kenny Shiels. So, who would like to start? Mr. Sky.
Hi, Kenny, Marissa.
Paul.
Kenny, first up, how do you stop England?
It's a very difficult proposition, but we can't go out just not to lose. We have to try and win a game of football. So there will be portions of that methodology in how we play, and we will do our best to try and curtail what they have to offer.
Serena Wiegman hinted that she will go strong, believing in rhythm for her team. Mm-hmm. Do you expect that kind of strength after the 8-0 win against Norway?
I expect it. You know, it's traditional, especially for Dutch coaches, not to change things, especially if it's going well. So I can understand that momentum, wish. Definitely, I expected that. So, but listen, you know yourself, if you go into their bench, it's a toss of a coin, which is the better. So they've got such a strong squad, and certainly are of the best teams in the world.
Marissa, what kind of challenge are you as players expecting tomorrow night?
I mean, as Kenny said there, it's one of the best teams in the world, and we know it's going to be a tough challenge. But this whole tournament has been a tough challenge. We've been up against the best players in the top nations in Europe, so we will continue to go into the game, just to give our all and enjoy it.
And I don't know whether this is a question for both of you, a little bit of a different preparation away from the training ground, Bournemouth Beach yesterday. How was it, and what did you get out of that? What was the idea and thinking behind that?
Well, we want, if you come somewhere for 12 days and every day is focus, then that can have a negative effect on people. And we feel that it was important that we got some relaxation time in each other's company. So it was a good 4 or 5 hours for us.
Relaxing for the players?
Yeah, it was great to get away and just relax and not have to focus on football, although it's hard to not talk about it, but no, it was nice to get away and just relax and enjoy each other's company.
You were playing football on the beach?
I was,
What can you tell us about football on the beach? Was it competitive?
Oh,
No.
Always.
Thank you both.
6 questions there, Paul, by the way. Come on, seriously. Jane, I know Jane's miles is better, so.
Thanks for the pressure there, Nigel. Kenny, it's your last game in the tournament. Added to that, it's against England. So how tense are you expecting it to be?
It'll be very intense, especially from their end. And as I said, you know, what can you call them? You know, they've got great players, great team. You know, Philip Neville has left a great foundation for the new manager, and that hasn't gone unnoticed. And I feel that, you know, they could, now that we're out of it, I can say this, they could go on and win the tournament. I think most people feel that way, and but we will try our best to do something that our country can be proud of.
Maybe for you both, if possible. We've seen Sarah McFadden more than hold her own against big names like Arda Hegerberg. How much is she relishing the challenge of stopping the likes of Beth Mead or Ellen White?
I think it's what Mac was made for, and we've had a few games against England recently, and she's been outstanding, as she always is. She's just getting better and better, and I mean, I know she can't wait to get out, and she just relishes the challenge like us all. And I hope she has another fantastic game, because she's been a star in the last previous games here.
Thanks, Jim. Kenny?
Thank you. take this off. Kenny, obviously, I know you're focusing on this match, but Nigel has told me 2 questions. So, looking further forward and post the tournament, I know, again, you're always thinking about the future. What can be done realistically to get more help from the IFA and, say, from Stormont to keep the progress going in the women's game in Northern Ireland?
Unlike my father, I'm not into politics, so I can't answer that. How that comes around, I'm sure everyone will help us because we've done so well, to arrive here, and the experience that the girls get from it is my priority. Anything else is okay. If I'm asked, I can offer some advice, but I feel it's in good hands.
Marissa, I hope you take this in the right spirit because it's putting you in the same sort of category as Stephen Davis, who, the media have been trying to retire for about several years now. Have you thought about your own international future, or do you feel good? And what do you think, for the years ahead? How do you see yourself going on after this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm lucky enough at the minute to work for the Irish FA, and I work with the young girls and the foundations kind of below us. And for me, it's about inspiring the young girls off the pitch also. And I mean, the Irish FA has invested heavily in women's football. We now have a new director. We're starting to build the game from the bottom up. So it's all about making sure that we keep inspiring these young girls, get more girls involved, and hopefully we can continue the success at the top level.
I just need to point out, like his politician father, you sort of avoided my question there about your own future as well, though.
Well, my focus is on England tomorrow night, and we'll see what happens after that.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Kenny. Who's next? Stuart?
Kenny, you did very well against England at Wembley and containing them for a large part of the game. So you'd obviously prepared very well for their starting 11, but how do you prepare for England's 11 that maybe finishes the game and the changes they make and approach that and deal with that?
Well, that's the beauty of being a big nation, and it's important that we don't get overawed. Like when we played them, I took a friendly. I was told not to, mad in the head, but I took a friendly against England at St George's Park, and I was so angry because the girls were signing their autographs after the match, and the stature of England, we've got to try and eliminate that from our thoughts, and we've got to try and play the team rather than the occasion, because it's a big occasion for our girls to play in a full house like this, and we want to do our best, and if we can give of our best, then we can't have any complaints. We don't want to leave anything behind. This is the culmination of our journey in the Euros finals, and we want to leave on a feel-good, and certainly we'll be trying to do that.
Marissa, Kenny's just said there about the occasion, you're going to be playing in front of 30,000 here. Most weeks when you're playing for Cliftonville, you may be playing in front of double figures at maybe at Ashfield High School or Leisure Centre in Strabane. How do you view the differences in that, and how do you get your head around it, and how do you then change your approach to come into this?
First of all, I don't think St Mary's has anything in solitude. Listen, we have to relish this challenge. We know that England are one of the top teams in the world, and they're seasoned pros. We have 13 players from an Irish league who are amateurs. We get up in the morning, we go to work, we train in the evening. It's night and day in comparison of what their preparation has been. We have a good mix of young players and experienced players, and as do they. But it's just our kind of journeys have been very different. But we're here, and the preparation has been amazing as always. And we'll go out and we'll do our best. And as Kenny says, you can't give anything else than that. So yeah, we'll go out and enjoy it. And the fans have been unbelievable. And it has brought tears to many of the players' eyes. So I'm sure it'll be the same tomorrow. And hopefully we can give them something to cheer about.
Can you just look at upon it as it's 11 footballers against 11 footballers and
Of course,
try and
yeah.
level it?
Always.
Okay, Colin, behind you, please.
Just 2 words, Kenny. 8-0. Were you surprised the other night how easy England steamroller Norway in that first game?
Yeah, I think it was a very, very good performance. My scout at the match said, I can't say anything that's negative about England. It's all positive. He says the rest of the script was the positive way in which England played. And certainly, that was borne out by the outcome. It's not unusual because I don't know how long it is since England's been beaten or scored against. I can only go back 3 years to the current tournaments, the Euros and the World Cup. England haven't conceded a goal, and they've averaged 8 goals a game. So that tells you the magnitude of, or how good they are, because usually you think when teams are dominating the ball, they'll make a mistake and they might concede one, but they're so focused on how they have to get there, and fair play to them, they're a top team. But if you go in with fear, then fear of failure is failure. We will not go in with any fear. The girls are motivated, we're all motivated, and we want to give a good account of ourselves to a universal stage. And if we can beat England, then it will be a fantastic feeling.
Marissa, this is obviously your first major tournament. I know it's not over until tomorrow, but what have you learned from it?
Yeah, it's been an incredible experience, and one that I'll definitely not remember, not forget. I've learned a lot about myself, to be honest. I feel, getting to lead my country out in a major tournament has definitely been a massive high, and especially with the few weeks I had leading up to this, I didn't know if I was going to make it or not, and so for me it was just about making sure that every single player enjoyed every moment of it, and it was about going out with no fear and calmness, and going out and playing our game. And I just think the experience that we've all had in terms of our young players and the senior players has just been incredible, and hopefully after this we can continue to learn and improve and get more success at senior level.
Chap behind you, please.
Thank you. Hi, Tom Gary from the Daily Telegraph. Kenny, I think you were saying earlier about players asking for autographs at the friendly at St George's Park when you played England there about 18 months ago, and I wondered if you'd mind just telling us how much the players' mentality has shifted since then, compared to that moment.
Yeah, it's indicative of how that has happened. The girls were oblivious to, for them moments, they were queued up outside their changing room, and, it shows you the esteem in which England are held by our country as well, and how good they are, doesn't help any, because, we have to try and look at it not just realistically, but we have to have a purpose, and we have to try and win, and that's just secondary stuff. The girls did admit after they were overawed by that occasion, but that helped us, the friendly in St George's, because it helped us to prepare for going to not Belarus, the other one, Ukraine, and it was great preparation because it was such a tough game, and we learned so much about ourselves then, and we're learning now. The experience we're on, having lost both games, is good for the future in terms of how we learn from the experience and our mistakes.
I know you don't mind me just asking one more as well. Just look, after tomorrow's game, can you sum up the desire and ambition for the team to get to the next Euros? And for you personally, is that a tournament that you have an ambition to be in charge for?
Yeah, I'm targeting that. I think I'm right in saying it's 3 years away to 2025. So, it gives me really good time period for being able to prepare, and that's what we'll be doing over the next couple of years. But we have to prepare to consolidate also. Thank you.
Hi there, it's Dan here from ITV. Marissa, question for you, if I may. Obviously, there's a big buzz around this England team at the moment after that 8-0. Is it a motivation for the players that you have a chance to bring them back down to earth?
Yeah, of course. We've played them previously twice, and I feel like we give a real good account of ourselves. We were hard to beat, and that was a massive thing for us, to make sure that we stuck to our game plan, and I think we've done it really well. We spoke earlier about, you know, their bench is just as good as their starting 11, so we do know it's going to be very, very difficult, but we'll stick to our game plan and make sure we're hard to beat, and hopefully we can go out and just really give it a good goal. That's the plan. We need to go out and just, every single player needs to give it their all and give it a good goal, yeah.
And Kenny, does that form part of what you're going to say to the players ahead of this?
I wasn't listening.
Bringing England back down to earth.
Yeah, no, we cannot do that, because all we want to do is look at ourselves and how we can play and how we can have an impact. Our journey is about trying to improve what we have, and if that means development players, it's important that everybody learns and gains that wisdom from the actual experience of being here. That's our utmost preparation, is to get some experience for the girls and to improve for the next tournament. Thank you.
Ms. Chapman in the front here, please.
Hello, I'm Pierre from the newspaper L'Equipe. It's a question for the manager. I think tomorrow, before the game, there will be only one anthem. Before the game, there will be just God Save the Queen. I think it's quite unique in a international competition. So I was wondering, do you think that, considering that the tomorrow's game could be a sort of symbol of the strong links that unite England of North Ireland, or do you think this kind of consideration has nothing to do with football?
I don't know. I thought it was a football question you were going to ask. I don't know.
Andy?
Hi, Kenny. You've talked about the developmental players, and you know we could see that when you brought them on against Austria as well. Will that be reflected in your starting team to give them the experience looking forward?
You have to put on. You can't. You could get a really bad outcome if we did that and put too many of development players in. They're here for the experience to get better. The senior players are here to get better and consolidate, and we have to do what's right for Northern Ireland women's football team, because if we just go and don't put on a programme and a tactical setup to just win a match or try to win a match, we have to do the both. We have to try to win the match by the use of some development players. That's where we're at with that. And, you know, the experiences, we've got almost every player on the pitch now. But what has been overlooked is the loss of Simone McGill. It definitely inhibited our performance against Austria. It was a big, big loss for us. We couldn't get up the pitch, and we only had Marissa to take her position, so we, well done, Marissa. It was good. It was good, but I would really wish we had had Simone with us, to be honest.
And then one for Marissa, just, you know you've only got 90 minutes left. What's your final message to the players before you head out?
I mean, Matt, just go out and enjoy every minute of it, as everyone's been telling us this week. Yeah, it's been an incredible experience, and what best way to finish it off against one of the top nations in England. We just seen recently how they beat Norway 8-0. It was an incredible performance from them. So yeah, we could go out and just really give a good account of ourselves and make our fans proud, families proud, and everyone at home proud, and that's it.
Thank you.
Anyone else? No one else? That's a wrap. Thank you very much. And the one-on-ones with the broadcasters will be pitch side now, okay? Thanks, Kenny. Thanks, Marissa.
Thank you, Nigel.